Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about men. When a man misses you secretly, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's quiet, but it's deep. You see, men have this thing called pride. We're taught from a young age to stay strong. Don't show weakness. Don't chase. But missing someone you truly care about, that's a battle between pride and emotion. And emotion always leaves a scar, even when he hides it. When a man misses you secretly, his pride fights his emotions. That's the truth right there. You see, men have been raised to believe that showing emotion is weakness. From a young age, we're told, man up, don't cry, don't chase after nobody. So when a man starts to feel the pain of missing a woman, he doesn't rush to admit it. He doesn't pick up the phone right away. He doesn't send that message he's been typing and deleting for hours. Instead, he sits in silence, wrestling between what his heart feels and what his pride allows him to do. And that war, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the hardest things for a man to fight. Because it's not about you being gone. It's about him realizing what he lost and being too stubborn to show it. He'll replay moments in his head, your laughter, your smile, the way you used to call his name, and it'll hit him out of nowhere. But pride whispers, don't reach out. She might have moved on. His emotions scream, tell her you miss her. Pride says, don't look desperate. So he stays quiet, hoping time will make him forget, but it never really does. That silence becomes heavy. Every day he carries it like a weight on his chest, pretending he's fine. He might even convince people he's over it. He'll laugh, go out, post pictures, keep moving. But when he's alone, pride starts to fade and emotions start to talk louder. Now, here's the thing. When a man misses a woman he truly cared for, it's not just about missing her presence. It's about missing the version of himself that felt alive when she was around. You brought out something in him that no one else did. Maybe it was peace, maybe it was passion, maybe it was purpose. And when that's gone, he tries to fill that space with distractions. He works harder, hangs with the fellas, or tries talking to other women. But deep down, he knows nothing compares. He's just trying to quiet that voice inside saying, you had something real. See, pride is like armor for a man. It protects him from rejection, from vulnerability, from pain. But the same pride that keeps him from falling apart is the same thing that keeps him from healing. That's why some men don't reach out, even when they miss you like crazy. They don't want to seem weak, so they suffer in silence, but eventually that silence eats at them. It becomes a constant reminder of what they could have said, what they should have done. And what's wild is that sometimes you'll feel it too, his energy pulling at you like something unseen still connects you. That's because when a man's emotions are real, no amount of pride can completely hide them. His eyes, his tone, his body language, they'll all give him away. He might not say the words, but you'll feel them. Because when pride and emotion collide, emotion always leaves a mark. Even if he never says it, trust me, he misses you. He starts showing up in quiet, subtle ways you may not even notice at first. That's how men operate when they miss you but can't bring themselves to say it out loud. They won't come running back with grand gestures or confessions. No, a man who misses you secretly will move carefully, almost like he's testing the air around your life. He'll drop little breadcrumbs, a like on an old photo, a random message asking something pointless, or maybe he'll just appear where he knows you might be. He's not doing it by accident. That's his way of saying, I'm still here, without having to swallow his pride and admit that he still thinks about you every day. A man's presence starts to show up in places he used to avoid. He might drive by familiar spots you two once visited together, or reach out to a mutual friend just to hear something about you. He doesn't want to look like he's checking in, but trust me, he is. He wants to know if you're okay, if you've moved on, if there's still a space in your life that used to belong to him. Every little move he makes has purpose. It's cautious, but it's real, because even though his pride keeps him quiet, his heart keeps finding ways to sneak around it. When a man misses you secretly, he'll start leaving traces of himself in your world again. Maybe he views your stories. Maybe he sends a song that reminds him of you. Or maybe he just shows up in your thoughts at the exact moment he's thinking about you too. Energy is powerful like that. You can feel when someone's thinking about you, especially when that connection was genuine. His silence doesn't mean absence. It means he's trying to find a safe way back into your space without feeling rejected. He's hoping you'll notice those small signs and make it a little easier for him to reach out. See, men don't always know how to communicate emotions directly. Instead, they rely on small gestures, subtle hints, familiar patterns. He might comment on something unrelated, like your new haircut or a random joke, just to open the door without fully stepping inside. He's saying, I'm still connected, even if he won't admit why. And sometimes he'll even act cold or indifferent when he finally sees you, but deep down that's just his guard, a cover for everything he's feeling. It's a strange thing about men. When they miss you secretly, their actions and their pride play a tug of war. They don't want to expose themselves, but they can't completely disappear either. So they hover. They show up in moments that seem small, but each one carries weight. That's how you know he still cares. Not through big speeches or promises, but through those quiet, intentional little moments, because no matter how much he tries to stay away, something inside him keeps finding its way back to where his heart once felt at home. His communication changes, not frequent, but meaningful. That's one of the clearest signs that a man is missing you secretly. When he finally decides to reach out, it's not going to be with constant messages or random calls like before. Instead, his words become rare but heavy with emotion. Every text, every call, every word he says has weight behind it, because he's no longer talking just to talk. He's reaching out from a place of longing, confusion, and hope. A man who misses you won't say it directly, but his tone will change. The timing of his messages will feel intentional, like he spent the whole day thinking before pressing send. He'll start with something simple, maybe a hey, how you been, or just checking in. But beneath that casual message is a heart that's been battling silence. He's been thinking about how you might respond, replaying old conversations in his mind, trying to find the right words that won't make him look vulnerable. He's not trying to make small talk. He's trying to reconnect. The space between his words will tell you more than what he says. You'll notice the pauses, the way he lingers, how he waits for your reply. It's not about the quantity of his messages anymore. It's about the meaning he hides in them. Sometimes his communication becomes less about words and more about timing. He'll message you late at night when the world is quiet and his thoughts are loudest. That's when missing you hurts the most. It's when his walls are down, when he's finally honest with himself about what he feels. He might send a message about something random just to test the waters, a song, a memory, a joke. But every word carries a quiet wish that you'll respond with warmth, because deep down, he's hoping to feel that old connection spark again, even if just for a moment. When a man misses you secretly, even his silence between texts says something. You'll notice he disappears for days, then reappears like nothing happened. That's not inconsistency, that's fear. He's afraid of saying too much, afraid of getting pulled back in, afraid you'll remind him of everything he lost. But he can't stay away either, so he comes back, trying to balance missing you with protecting himself. Every message he sends is a silent tug of war between pride and heart. The truth is, men aren't good at expressing deep emotions through words, so they communicate through patterns, through timing, through what they choose to say and what they choose not to say. When his communication shifts from casual to careful, from frequent to rare but thoughtful, that's when you know he's missing you. Because when a man truly misses a woman, he doesn't just want to talk, he wants to connect. And even if he only says a few words, his soul is in every one of them. He'll test the waters to see if you still care without saying it directly. That's what men do when they miss you, but don't have the courage to admit it out loud. He's not going to walk up to you and say, I miss you. Instead, he's going to drop little hints, send small signals, and watch your reaction closely. Every move he makes becomes a test, a quiet, emotional experiment to see if your heart is still open to him. He might send you a random message, something harmless, like, hey, remember this? Or I saw something that reminded me of you. It may seem casual, but behind it is a man wondering if you'll respond with warmth or coldness. He's watching every detail, how fast you reply, what tone you use, even the emojis you choose. That's how he measures if there's still a chance. A man who misses you secretly will never want to look like he's chasing, so he hides his feelings behind curiosity. He might ask about your life, just enough to hear if someone new is around. He'll play it off like he's being friendly, but what he really wants to know is whether your heart has moved on. He'll pretend he doesn't care, but his questions will give him away. He'll ask about your job, your family, your friends, anything that gives him a glimpse into the world he's no longer part of. He's not asking just to talk. He's asking to find his place in your story again. Sometimes his tests are even quieter. He might disappear to see if you notice. He'll hold back from texting just to see if you will be the one to reach out. He'll post something that he knows will catch your eye, maybe a memory, a quote, or even a song that once meant something between you two. And if you react, even with a like or a short comment, that tells him something. It tells him that a part of you still cares, that he still exists in your thoughts. That's all he needs to keep hope alive. Men use these little tests because they're afraid of rejection. They'd rather get a subtle sign than risk hearing a direct no. So they approach with caution, trying to protect their pride while still feeding their emotions. But deep down, every move is motivated by the same feeling. He misses you and he doesn't know how to handle it. When you see him doing things that feel out of character, it's usually his heart speaking louder than his logic. It's almost like he's trying to build a bridge back to you without admitting he wants to cross it. He's afraid that if he says too much, he'll scare you away. But if he says nothing, he'll lose you completely. So he finds the middle ground. subtle actions, half-open doors, quiet signals. That's his way of saying, I still care, hoping you'll read between the lines. Because when a man truly misses you but can't say it, he'll always find a way to test your heart, not with words, but with actions that silently beg the question, do you miss me too? His energy will always find its way back to you, even if his words don't. That's the thing about real connection. It doesn't fade just because communication stops. When a man truly misses you, that emotional bond stays alive in the invisible space between you two. You can feel it even when he's silent. His name might pop up in your thoughts for no reason, or you might dream about him out of nowhere. That's not coincidence. That's energy. When a man's heart still remembers you, it reaches out in ways that logic can't explain. His soul keeps sending little echoes toward yours, hoping to be felt even if he's not brave enough to reach out. Sometimes he'll try to bury those feelings by keeping busy, meeting new people, or chasing new experiences. But no matter where he goes, he'll keep running into reminders of you. A song comes on that once played during your late night drives. He passes a place you two laugh together. He sees someone wearing your favorite color or catches a scent that smells like you, and suddenly it's like no time has passed at all. In that moment, his heart travels right back to you. That's energy, it's memory mixed with emotion, still alive long after the relationship has changed. Even if he tries to convince himself he's moved on, his energy betrays him. You might feel it too. Those strange moments when his thoughts seem to brush against yours, it's when you suddenly think of him, right before he texts, or when you feel a wave of nostalgia hit you for no clear reason. That's because energy doesn't need words, it just flows between hearts that once connected deeply. When love was real, it leaves an imprint that time doesn't erase easily. He might start showing up in unexpected ways. You see his name in random places, hear someone mention him, or notice subtle signs that bring him back to your awareness. It's like the universe keeps nudging you, reminding you that his energy hasn't left your space yet. That's not him trying to play games. That's what happens when someone's spirit is still tied to yours emotionally. He may not talk to you, but his thoughts keep sending quiet messages, hoping they'll somehow reach you. Men don't always understand how energy works, but they feel it. He might not say your name, but something inside him keeps returning to the place where his heart felt most alive. You. No matter how much he hides behind silence, that energy gives him away. You can't fake or fight what's genuine. That's why when a man truly misses you, even if he doesn't show it in words or actions, you feel it in the air around you. His heart remembers you, and that energy will always find a way to touch yours, no matter how far apart you are. Deep down, missing you teaches him what he lost and what his heart truly values. When a man misses you in silence, he starts realizing things he didn't understand before. See, when he had you, he might have thought your love was